and impose limitations we put on ourselves, or by hanging around with certain people. I've seen myself lately where I've been hanging out with a different group of people, and I've had a few comments from them about how I live my life. And I thought to myself,
well, you're talking to a rock and roll drummer, so
exactly.
I could be a lot of people would put me under the microscope and be critical of how I live my life. But you know what I find more often than that?
Yeah.
More often than that, what I'm finding out is that people are living vicariously through me. That's the next step for people, because the people that are in judgment are usually the ones that want really what you want. You know,
you have.
And they're so far from it. They've stifled their own attitudes so strongly that they just are having a hard time through jealousy and through envy in really owning and being able to be supportive of your life. But I bet that at the core, those are the people at the core that are the ones that are just really would love to really.
But you know what I have to ask myself is what is it? Because we're the attractor of our own experiences, and I have to ask myself, what is it about me that I've attracted this person or these people into my life? Why have I allowed? What is it I need to see about myself that I've allowed this type of situation to come in?
Answer the question.
So the question would be, ask me the question.
Well, which person are you speaking of?
I have a particular friend of mine.
Particular friend of yours.
Yeah, who's
judgmental.
Seemed to be a little bit judgmental.
Good.
Yeah, lately.
So?
And passing judgment. But I have to ask myself, what is it about me that I've attracted in a person that I would even allow to be judgmental? I mean, who is anybody to judge how I live my life? You know, I don't...
Exactly. Well, who have you been judgmental of?
Right. Who have I been? Usually I think of myself as being pretty... free spirit. I like to be left alone to live my own freedom, live my own life the way I like to lead it. So if I were asked myself, who have I been judgmental of? Actually, it would be of myself. It wouldn't be of anyone else. It would be of myself. You know, it's always working harder, not doing enough of something, you know? And so that's interesting. I think the voice that I've been hearing from this person actually is my own voice speaking to me, maybe. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's, I need to change my own judgmental voice on myself.
There you go.
Do you know? So I think it's very important.
Well,
yeah.
Good. So you learn something. And that's the whole point of the experience, is you learn something.
Exactly. Now, I'm looking forward to, because you and I are putting together this seminar coming up June 19th.
June 19th.
Yes.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. And we were formulating what it's going to be like earlier. And what I'm going to do is help people with their intuition, really hearing their soul's purpose, you know, their intuitive voice and their intuitive goal. How do you know when you're on your intuitive goal, soul track?
That's
and how do you know
fantastic.
when you're off of it? And how do you really hear your soul? And how do you really hear when you're in alignment with your purpose and not in alignment? And I really think that's my forte, with really teaching people how to really hear. I mean, because I see it as well as I hear things, but how to really help someone else hear it and see it for themselves. And you're going to step in and teach people about this ABC process and drumming. You're teach people through drumming, and I'm so excited about us doing this together.
It's really fun.
Isn't that phenomenal?
One of the things that I love about drumming, drumming it's experiential. It's the body. It's resonant.
It's raw.
And what I understand about learning, what I've seen, what I've noticed is, you know, we hear a lot of things, and some of them we absorb, most of them we don't. We see things, we might absorb a little bit more, but if you experience something, then you know it. And I have been blessed with this gift of drumming, and blessed with the ability to help people transcend and help people gain some insights in their lives. So in my seminar, what I do is I allow people to look at different attitudes, and then we drum these attitudes.
Give me an example.
Well, one of my favorites is the attitude of get to versus have to. How to every time we say, if you think you have to do something, and you shift it to a get to, it literally fires in a different part of the brain, and it becomes your choice. It also enables you to then enjoy an experience that might be mundane, even taking out the trash. I have to take out the trash. What if I get to take out the trash? That means I get to have a clean house. That means I get the freedom. In other words, you start to really appreciate all the little things. I do that every time I go to the gym. I have to go to the gym. No, I get to go to the gym. And the moment I shift it to a get to, then I get excited about
Yeah,
it.
your body
Because then I
feels
start
it.
to also see the consequence. I shift the attitude, changes my behavior, and I see the consequence. So then what I might do with my audience is I'll say, well, tell me something you get to do. Excuse me, tell me something you have to do. I'll think of something they have to do, and I'll say, shift that to a get to. And then what we'll do is I'll have them play that. I'll say, okay, think about that. Think about this amazing life that you've created and that you get to do this as opposed to have to do it. And they'll play it on the drum and they'll start to feel it. And then I may choose, then I'll say, okay, I'm going to be the distraction. I'm going to be the have to. Because the have to is actually your brain sort of undermining and sabotaging your glorious life. That's what we do when we say, I have to do something, when we take away our choice. So this person will drum the get to, and then I'll be the distraction, and I'll try to scream and distract them off their get to. And it creates such a strong resonance that the next time the person thinks of something they have to do, they're going to probably chuckle, and they're going to remember this experience as, oh, wait a minute, I get to do that. And if that gives them just the smallest amount of joy from the experience that they didn't have before, then their life is shifted forever.
And they'll remember that and be able to apply that to other
Yes.
areas the next time and that sort of thing, which is
and then we reverse
fantastic.
roles, and I'll play a get to, and I'll have them be the distraction, and then I have people in the audience pair up. So we do little drumming. I call them druminstrations, like that.
I like
and everybody gets a drum. Everybody gets a frame drum and a stick, and we partner up, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very strong. And that's an example of a concept that's so simple but so effective and so applicable to every moment in your life. Because life is just a series of moments. If we can shift and change the attitudes moment to moment, then we've shifted and changed our entire lives before we know it.
That's what Allison and I were talking about today. She was saying to me, Monique, that one of the biggest things I've gotten out of all of this is that this moment, and I say this all the time, but for some reason today when she was saying it, it's my best friend, and she's saying it, I'm listening to her, and I'm so excited to talk to her again, and she's saying, this is it, this moment, and she goes, and all the things we were so worried about, and next week, and this, and she goes, you could walk out of your car, walk into Starbucks, and that's it, you're dead, and she goes, honestly.
Walk into Starbucks and you're dead? Uh-oh.
Things can happen. I mean, you
Yeah,
just, something
of
could
course.
happen, and she said that the biggest thing she got from going on this journey was that this moment is it. We need to live our authentic selves, our authentic lives. Really
Now.
be this now, not tomorrow, and not where we're giving our energy away to people, where we're being drained. And she was giving some experiences, the things she had been through, where she'd given so much to this particular individual, and she's like, why? For what? She doesn't owe this person anything. She doesn't. And I this concept of just really living our lives and creating our lives the way we want to create it, and not, if someone doesn't like the way we live our life, if someone doesn't like the way I live my life, as far as I'm concerned,